Cinema can dazzle, inspire, or completely waste 2 hours of your life. With lights, camera, and judgment ready, I'm Varun Kaushik, your resident cinephile, welcoming you to yet another edition of The Screen Verdict, where the hype meets the truth, the popcorn meets the plot, and the stars are earned, not gifted. Our first title, Jab Khuli Kitab, begins with Pankaj Kapoor beside a hospital bed, his wife in a coma and the family gathering like this is the final act of a very long play. Except, the curtain refuses to fall because Anusuya, his wife, wakes up. And with her, so does a truth that threatens to unravel a 50-year marriage. Directed and written by the amazing Saurabh Shukla, Jab Khuli Kitab is not interested in melodrama or shock twists. It's a gentle, almost old-fashioned meditation on love, regret, and the peculiar chaos of Indian families. At the center of it all is the magnificent Pankaj Kapoor as Gopal Nautiyal, a husband whose dry wit and tongue-in-cheek asides are a delight to watch. Opposite him, Dimple Kapadia plays Anusuya with a quiet grace, a woman whose one confession threatens to shake decades of companionship. Their chemistry has the softness of a long marriage. It's warm, it's familiar, and occasionally it's prickly. Then comes Apar Shakti Khurana as the chirpy lawyer Negi, injecting the story with just the right dose of mischief. The film moves like life itself. It's sometimes endearing and sometimes a little humdrum. A son planning a funeral for a mother who's alive, and a father blurting inconvenient truths at the worst possible moment. It's messy, it's awkward, and wonderfully hauntingly familiar. And that's the point. In an era where filmmakers seem obsessed with darkness and brooding angst, Jab Khuli Kitab chooses something far rarer: sunlight. It celebrates the idea that love, even in the autumn of your life, can surprise you. But be warned, this isn't a sprint. It's a stroll along the quiet hills of Ranikhet, gentle, reflective, sometimes a little too slow. But if you pause for long enough, there's warmth here worth savoring. A meandering slice of life, which may not be for everyone, Jab Khuli Kitab gets a sunny, easy 2.5 stars. On to our second review, where Anil Kapoor storms into Prime Video Subedar like a moral compass of a town that has long misplaced one. Set in the dust-choked, mafia-run, fictional world of coke, the film opens with illegal sun mining, dead children, and many iterations of the popular Haryanvi song Gypsy. Kapoor plays Subedar Arjun Maurya, a man who chooses this lawless hellhole out of every place in the world to retire after his wife is deceased, in an effort to reconcile with his daughter Shama, played by Radhika Madan. Naturally, he ends up trying to rescue the town's soul. We've seen this story before, it's the Bollywood benchmark at this point. Subedar doesn't reinvent the wheel here. There's also plenty of familiar villains, including the deliciously detestable prince, played by Ditya Raval, who makes every appearance feel like a punch waiting to land. Mona Singh plays his sister and jailed kingpin Babli Didi, a queenpin, I'm not sure. But hey, it's another glass ceiling shattered, right? Faisal Malik plays her sand mining racket's de facto goon-in-chief, Softy. The problem with the film? It throws everything at the wall: corruption, grief, vigilantism, and social commentary, and spends nearly 2.5 grueling hours trying and struggling to hold it all together. It shifts tones, styles, and storylines so often that by the end of it, the film reads like that one friend who's had too much to drink at the party. You know, it begins by oversharing wildly and spends the rest of the night panicking about it. That leaves Subedar buried under its own sand at a 2.5 stars. Hello Bachcho is a phrase people across the country can recognize. So much so that TVF made a show surrounding it and the life of Physics Wala founder Alak Pandey, with the show aptly titled Hello Bachcho. Vineet Kumar Singh walks into the scenes not as a larger-than-life hero, but as something rarer, a teacher who simply refuses to stop believing in his students. The series traces the rise of Alak Pandey, the founder of Physics Wala, whose trademark greeting Hello Bachcho became the rallying cry for lakhs of aspirants chasing impossible dreams across the country. Directed by Pratish Mehta, the show moves between Alak's struggle to grow an educational platform without turning it into a soulless business, and the lives of students hanging their hopes on these online lectures. From a labourer's son trying to scrape together a mere 4,000 rupees to a slum dweller dreaming of cracking the IIT. Singh plays Alak with disarming sincerity. He's awkward and earnest and stubbornly idealistic, while Vikram Kochar, as his pragmatic partner Pratik, grounds the story in the tough realities of money and scale. The series has its heart set firmly in the right place. capturing India's obsession with competitive exams and the fragile power of aspiration. But the storytelling often slows into a crawl, and the message, as noble as it is, gets repeated so often it begins to sound like a lecture itself. Still, the sincerity lands, and for that, the show gets a competitive 3 stars. Did it manage to get a passing grade from you? Let us know in the comments down below. In our fourth title, The Bride, director Maggie Gyllenhaal takes on one of Gothic fiction's most iconic myths and brings along an enviable cast to do it. Set in a smoky, stylized 1930s Chicago, the film reimagines Mary Shelley's Frankenstein through a quasi-feminist lens. Kristen Bale plays a lonely Frankenstein searching for companionship, enlisting a brilliant scientist played by Annette Bening to bring a murdered woman back to life as his bride. At the center of it all is Jessie Buckley, who plays both Mary Shelley and the resurrected bride, delivering a performance with aching intensity, obsession, longing, and a hunger, a desperation for connection. What is very interesting is that many believe that Mary Shelley's original piece of work, which has since been translated into many forms across mediums, is a social commentary on womanhood. To see such themes highlighted with such grandeur in a movie helmed by a woman as a director is commendable, to say the least. It's impressive. At the center of it all is Jessie Buckley, who plays both Mary Shelley and the resurrected bride, delivering a performance of aching intensity, of obsession, longing, and a desperate hunger for connection. Just like the original body of work by Mary Shelley, which many believe is a commentary, a social commentary on womanhood at large. Visually, the film is sumptuous. Gothic glamour, lush production design, and a haunting score. Even the supporting cast, including Peter Skarsgård and Penelope Cruz as an eccentric detective duo, add flashes of intrigue. But the film is, as most are these days, overstuffed. Themes, references, tonal shifts, everything piles up until the story loses its shape. What begins as a stylish, twisted romance gradually turns into a chaotic mishmash of ideas, fascinating in parts but frustrating as a whole. The Bride lands at 2.5 stars out of 5. It's visually striking, emotionally stirring in moments, but ultimately a little too messy to haunt you for long. That's the screen verdict for this week. Watch them, skip them, but do tell us your verdicts in the comment sections too. Like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to head to the movie review section of tribuneindia.com for the full reviews. Until then, binge responsibly.